Hello everyone, Antazil here, back with another video for Hearts of Iron 4. Today we'll be diving into the challenge Paradox posted on their Discord to puppet the UK as Canada. So, Canada, here we go, all the way to the left, and that's appropriate. Ironman, historical focuses, let's go. The goal of the challenge is to puppet the mainland of the UK and Ireland. Ireland turned out to be a problem in my test runs, but we'll see if I have a solution for that. The easiest way, within quotation marks, to go about this would be to turn fascist and take out the United States first. You're going to run into them sooner or later, so you better do that sooner. But we're not doing the easy way, we're doing the hard way, so we're going communist. Patriation. We'll start with the generic research. I'm not going to show most of this, but what we do want is to keep our infantry stuff up to date. So infantry equipment and artillery and anti-air. I'm going to use marines at some point, but not too soon. And I'm going to need 1936 submarines. I think I'll point that out. Slow as they might be, we will be building military factories right from the start. With 4 on guns, 1 on artillery. Assign the MIO. And for future purposes, support equipment, trucks, and trains. See if we can get that all done. Convoys for now. The game plan will be to flip communist through the focus tree and without need for further bloodshed. Join the Comintern. Use their naval base at Murmansk here to invade the Netherlands, grab ourselves a basic fleet, invade Ireland, then get a bigger fleet by invading Japan while we're at it, and finally take out the United Kingdom. 5 speed, let's go. Let's exercise the Navy, we need some experience. Strangely enough, these guys generate quite a bit of experience. That's patriation. It'll give us 1 point for daily autonomy gain per day, which means we'll be free in 600 days, which will make 500 as soon as we do burn the royal portraits. I mean, we could go for a civil war, but Canada is just so big. It could no doubt become an incredible mess. Let's get on those submarines. We just need a few of them. 1936 submarines has the range to naval invade from Murmansk into the north of the Netherlands. So that's the cheapest way to go about it. First 150 pp, silent workhorse. We also need the communist revolutionary soon enough, but you know, burn the royal portraits is done. We need to be free and communist to proceed here. I want to pick up the dockyards in a little while, but first we'll head into HOI4 Commission for Political Power. 35 naval XP and I'll get naval reform. Get that XP even faster. 1936 up. That's HOI4 and we'll take those dockyards now. And we'll also get the communist revolutionary. We currently have lowering democracy support and raising communist support, but that does also give us fascism support, which we don't want, so we'll ban fascism. That'll make it go away. Don't click on open political discourse. If your communism gets high enough, you'll get the referendum anyway. We'll just wait for that. We still need to be free anyway. Halifax shipyards is done. For the rest of the focus tree, this one here is important, commit to the war. You need this one to go up to limited conscription. We are on volunteer only as Canada. And you need to get past this one that requires 20% will tension. We'll get there eventually. The research slots are kind of hidden behind. Well, this one can be done directly, but war bonds here requires you to be at war. So keep this one in mind for one of the many wars we're in. For now, we'll just continue with the focuses on the left here. To gain our independence, we need 300 PP. So we will get an army offense expert, but we'll try to save up the rest for now. Oh, less recruitable pop, but more communism. Fine. Let's not forget about anti-air. UK and Japan are difficult to fight without an air force. You really need AA. I'm not using the MIO for this. I need political power. I've stopped exercising, going to save equipment. Training 8 cavalry divisions, which I'll turn into the district militia. 1936 sub is done, and we'll get back on producing. This one's here only for the range, so it doesn't have to be very good. And we'll produce about 4 of these. After which we'll head into the 1936 destroyer with light battery 1 and torpedo launcher. And we'll use the escort fleet to build it. Something like this. 35 XP is usually when I go for Professional Officer Corps, however I will later be going for the Karl Marx Portrait, Ideological Loyalty for Manpower. Already at over 50% communism support, it's going really fast. There's no need to do political discourse, we'll get this done in minutes. We'll get $Yearling later, first go down here. We've invented the anti-air gun, so we'll start a production line so I don't forget about it. At the same time, we also have communism on the rise. We're over 60%, and then this event can pop up. We need a referendum, political power minus 100, but we don't have to do the political discourse thing. And we're now communist. Let's just get independence. United States attempting to isolate us. For some reason they don't like us. Let's flip all of these divisions to district militia. We actually have the manpower. Once these start trained up, I'll add some support companies and they'll be our invasion force. We are now also communist, so we can go to ideological loyalty for the weekly 500 manpower. Let's ask for military access and a non-aggression pact from the Soviets. $Yearling is done. We have about 55 days until we are independent. We would need some more political power for that, but it's alright, so we'll just do another 70-day focus. We'll use the 100% boost for better tools, get the most out of our factories. 300 PP, press magic button, we are free, and we get a cool new flag. Kind of like this one. Ordinarily, I'd say we leave the Allies and try to join the Soviets. However, we have a distance modifier that will not make that work. We'll just have to go down a focus tree and do it the hard way. Join the Comintern. Let's ship the boys over to Leningrad and put our fleet here in Murmansk. We're now able to go for Communist Labor Total War Committee, and we'll also do Supply the Red Army and join the Comintern. With our first free political power, we'll go to the Dutch East Indies and justify a war goal. 225 days. We need 210 days. I'll wait a bit. I'm going to declare the moment the justification is ready. So now it's 190 days. 225. Yeah, that should work. And we'll add whatever we can on support equipment. Anti-air probably don't have enough of that. And against the Netherlands, this should be fine. Just basic infantry block with the support companies. Exercise again and have a look at the deficits. Just support equipment. Yeah, we do need a bit more of that. Also create an empty template of 1 battalion. And train about 24 of those. Let's join the Comintern. Just to be sure, we're also increasing relations. Once we join, we immediately need to set up the naval invasion. Join Comintern is done. We'll also do support the world revolution. It includes subversive activities cost minus 50%, and that's including justifications. We want that. While the game is paused, we will set up a naval invasion for Leeuwarden. And I'll set those 4 submarines to strike force in these 3 sea zones, so we can just make it. Let's give our Field Marshal offensive doctrine and charismatic. Don't need organization first. And we should be good to go. Kind of want a Chief of the Navy. If I'm getting Marines, I want them upgraded, and we'll do decisive battle. Naval invasion is prepared, setting it to go. Justification from West Papua is done. And we'll declare war immediately. We'll also go for war propaganda. See what happens here. Naval invasion launches, and we'll set the fleet to convoy escort. Can't hurt. Probably not going to be enough. No, 90% efficiency, not too bad. Those 2 whiffs are done, so while we're waiting, let's go all the way to Vancouver, deploy them there, put them in an army, and ship these guys over to Vladivostok. Really making myself popular with the Canadian troops here by sending them all over the world into the far north. Now we could force attack this, but I don't think we need to. Eventually we'll win these battles because the Dutch cannot reinforce. And here we are. Now I'm going to support World Revolution is done. I want to get this one done because we need to be at war. So we'll not finish off the Dutch until we are actually done with that focus. And in the meantime, we'll justify war goal on Ireland. 100 days. That's even minus the 50%, so we'll need to stick around here for a bit. In my previous runs, I did Netherlands first, Japan second, UK third, and then Ireland. And Ireland was guaranteed by the United States. Canadians famously liberating the Dutch from capitalism. And we're done. Amsterdam surrounded. War bonds is done. We'll beeline now for commit to the war. Hopefully get that done in the war with Japan that's upcoming. Now we need to prepare for the naval invasion of Ireland. Here's the justification for Ireland. Let's declare war immediately, set the naval invasion to go, and set our fleet to support it. Forgot about that. But now we can finish off the Netherlands. We'll take the Netherlands, take their navy, puppet the Dutch East Indies, put on resource rights, some war reparations, but not too many. And the naval invasion is off. Now that we have Dutch-Indonesian power, we can also convert these to a colonial template. Yeah, I'm using Dutch East Indies manpower. It's been, what, years since I've done that? And start exercising. Dublin is being guarded, but I think I can surround it. And here we are. There goes Ireland. The goal is to puppet them, so puppet them we will. Oh, that's one screaming flag. Now for our next step, we'll be invading Japan using a naval exploit. 90 days. It's going to be tight to exercise these guys. Let's see how they're doing. We'll set the war goal once they have 20%. Should be good enough. Justify war goal on Menguko. The theory is that in most cases, not always, when you declare on Menguko, have your naval invasion ready on the very hour your war goal finishes, not a day later or an hour later, you have a window of opportunity to invade. Doesn't always work, but it works a lot of the time, so that's what we'll be aiming for. Even the Dutch fleet will not get a supremacy over the Japanese one. So we'll set up the naval invasion and bring our navy over here. Indonesian template is also getting some support companies, not anti-tank, artillery and engineers. This will have to do. Attritioning, because of lack of supply, these divisions are a bit too heavy. Navy in Vladivostok set up for strike force. Now let's carefully watch that war goal. 76 days and naval invasion is ready with exercise troops. Their org will suffer from the attrition, but well, we gotta make do. And this should work. Canada wheat port is done, which means we can do commit to the war once we are at war. Skip a focus for now. Here we are. The game automatically pauses. Declare war and see what happens. Naval invasion not launching. Oh well, that also happens. We are at war. We can do commit to the war. We'll probably do more war propaganda. We'll wait a bit if it launches by its own, otherwise we'll call in the Soviets and then we'll be good. See if we can bait the Japanese fleet into convoys, suppression somewhere else. Ah, screw it, let's call in the Soviets. The Soviets will take a lot of war score, but we just need a piece of navy and we'll be fine. Eventually this will fire. Well, at least we got committed to war. We'll also do send in the zombies, recruitable population, yeah sure. And here goes the naval invasion. We just needed a window of opportunity and now we got it. Also go to limited conscription. Now these are colonial troops from the Indonesians, and fighting in a war will raise their autonomy really quick, but they should have at least 2 good fights in them before I have to say goodbye. It's not very busy on the home islands. I hope I get some war score, because right now it's not that much. Need to destroy troops for that. But there are troops. You can see Dutch East Indies already raising its autonomy. Landing some big amount of troops here. Tokyo is surrounded and the rest is mine. Now that manpower is trickling in, let's get to work on creating a few Marines. And start exercise. War participation 22%, looking a lot better already. That should be enough for a Japanese puppet and some nice pieces of fleet. This is costing us. Here we are. Now we could take a lot of Japan, but we just want most of their navy. So I'll just start by creating a small puppet here. and get to work on out of points. Japan seems thoroughly taken, and the rest will be part of my puppet, I guess. There's a Soviet Japan, a Canadian Japan, and quite a bit of Navy. Now we need to get in on World War II, of course, but we need these Indonesian troops to be there for it. So let's railroad them all the way to Leningrad. That's going to take us 62 days. Oh yeah. Justify war goal in Malaya, 75 days. So we need to wait a bit. Once again, I want the war goal to be finished just in time. Yeah, something like this. There's a bit of United Kingdom on my border here, so I'm deploying some cavalry. Hopefully that will just allow me to make my marine a little bit bigger. Something like this. Do we have the artillery to add an artillery? Yeah, we do. So let's make it a 7-2. Heading straight for Liverpool this time. Let's not forget to send over the fleets. 17 days. Yeah, it's going to be tight. My math is on point as usual. We're not going to finish training these Marines, but we are giving them plane tanks. 10 days. Stop the exercise. This will have to do. These guys, we'll put them on the border with Belgium. As soon as we finish one war goal, we'll get on one against Belgium. Get in on the action against the allies there. Although I suppose it will not be necessary. I want to push in there, kill something, and get more war participation. Put these guys on strike force, as well as these guys. Naval invasion launching, or at least ready to go. And here we go. Declare war immediately. Naval invasion is launching. Set these guys to naval invasion support and hope for the best. It's a short ride, but oh well. Being intercepted. And we've got troops on Liverpool now. Get me those Marines, please. And we are surrounding Liverpool, and we got it. It's a mess with Germany not being in our faction, but it's alright. Just need to correct this every now and then. We don't really need to win this, the Germans will do that. We just need to grind some war participation, and we're doing quite alright. London surrounded. There's that at least. It's a tough battle other than that. Naval invasion northern England. Keep an eye out for, you know, everything. Belgium capitulated. Let's see what happens if I just keep troops on here. If maybe they'll spawn more of their divisions. 42% participation. Oops, British reinforcements. Currently have more participation than the Germans. Don't count on that happening in your game. This is fairly lucky, but keeping them over so they can spawn troops there, that seems to be a good idea. I'm just going to surrender the UK so I can help out on the mainland here. UK has capitulated, there will be some troops here. The fall of Paris by Canadian troops. Probably not enough yet, but we're closing in on more victory points. And here we are, in the peace deal. Well, the goal was to puppet the mainland United Kingdom and Ireland, so we'll start with that. I took a Canadian Raj, a bit more prosperous than you can usually expect, but getting the British Isles as your puppet should take about 20% war participation, and using this guide you can easily get that. The Socialist Republic of Great Britain is now a puppet of the the Canada Popular State. Glorious. And we didn't even go through that tedious conquering of the United States that every Canada game seems to do. I hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, leave a like, press subscribe, or leave a comment. It all helps me to grow the channel. Thanks a lot and see you next time. Bye bye.